Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally made it. We are here at World Finals 4 for CC, Controlled Carnage, World Finals 4. This is the pre-show. Right now in the booth with me is Mr. Trevor Hellings. Trent Ray is here. He is just kicking it in the in the back watching wrestling like a champ.
Yeah.
And my pizza just got here, so if you hear me munching, I apologize in advance. Hellings, we're here. Let's talk about what are your thoughts here tonight. World Finals 4, we're gearing up. We got everyone qualified. Literally, Tailgater just finished qualifying.
Yeah, it's I mean, you said it yourself, this is the World Finals, fourth World Finals CC Season 4. Such an amazing season, despite all the hiccups here and there, but this is going to be a great night to wrap up the entire season, and we're going to crown 4 new champions, world champions tonight. That's right. Last season, we only crowned 2, the racing and freestyle, but because we did a modern season, this season, we get to have 4 new champions crowned, racing, freestyle like usual, and also high jump and two-wheel skills or best trick or whatever we're going to call it. It's going to be a fantastic night. 16 of the best and the greatest drivers in CC, plus an extra 6 that will be competing in last chance qualifying. One of them, the winner of that, will get to qualify in the final 16th spot for the World Finals lineup. And yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be such an amazing night. And I'm so happy I get to call the action with you in the booth.
Oh. Me too. I'm super excited. Sorry about that silence. I'm just trying to figure out something. Give us 1 second, folks. All right, our first guy we're going to talk to is actually Mr. Hellings himself. Hellings, you made the stretch at the very end in International, barely being out Marcelo, and you are in the awesome normal black and green wrecking machine, man.
Yeah, like it's been a wild ride this season. Again, like I started off so good, and then everything went to crap. By the end of the Arena Series, I fought my way through the International Tour. I had to go up against so many different drivers. I mean, I've been over this, but like, I'm just glad that I was still able to make it back in at the end. And as you said, I'm rocking the normal Gravedigger paint. I wanted to have a different paint, but we just couldn't get it done logistically enough in time. So we're running the normal black beer and wrecking machine body, and I don't see any issues with that. This truck surprised me with how good it was during the International Tour, and even though I wasn't really thinking too much about what finals and I was going to do here, you know what? I gotta be honest with you, I like my chances. I ran really good qualifying time. I think I finished fourth fastest in qualifying after all. This truck handles amazingly, and you know what? I just can't wait to get on the track and get the show started. It's going to be a good time.
I absolutely agree. And, Hellings, being the 15th guy here, making that last qualifying spot because you were not excited for LCQ whatsoever. We got 6 trucks in the last chance qualifier. Not as many as we thought, but I think 6 is a good number because it won't be as long. But, Hellings, you managed to qualify in the top 5. You were 4th fastest of the night.
It's funny because I've been pretty much across the entire world, so I haven't had the chance to get as much practice as all the other competitors here. But I said this before my qualifying pass. Once you get in, once you qualify, it doesn't matter where you place, especially during the World Finals. Monster trucks are so unpredictable. They're probably the most unpredictable sport that has ever existed. I qualified 4th. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't matter. Once racing starts going, once I got a race, that's all out the window. It doesn't matter who I race when racing comes by. It doesn't matter that I'm 4th fastest. It doesn't matter who I'm racing against. They're probably low because I'm 4th fastest, right? So they're probably somewhere at the bottom. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I qualified 4th. All that matters is that once you get onto the line, anything can happen. So you know what? I'm proud of myself that I finished high. I think I also finished in the upper half during last season's qualifying, but that doesn't matter once racing comes by. Yeah, so that doesn't matter once racing actually happens. Once racing happens, it's every man for himself. So you know what? We'll see what happens during racing. But I still like that I qualified 4th. I'm glad that I finished at the top. That proves that I can get it done racing-wise. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, anything can happen once racing starts.
I couldn't be more excited for you, man. I mean, I'm hoping you rock the house tonight. It's 4 competitions in one night. It's going to be intense.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's all right.
But, Hellings, our next guy we need to talk about, this is a pretty interesting one. It's Mr. Amari Nuanez in the Axe Monster Truck. You can go ahead and despawn, Mr. Hellings.
Did so?
While we wait for Axe to park. Yep, while we wait for Axe to park the truck. Folks, like I said, our next guy is Mr. Amari Nuanez. And Amari, you're now in the main field due to some scheduling conflicts. How do you feel about all of a sudden being in the main field?
It's an awesome feeling here, especially being in the World Finals. It's pretty much a big privilege to be in the main field. But my condolences, pretty much, you can say, for the scheduling conflicts for original guy that's supposed to be here. But hey, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going for the win here tonight.
Absolutely, man. And fun fact, Avenger 2 has now been the only chassis that's been in every World Finals for controlled Carnage. You are driving quite a beast when it comes down to it.
Hey, it is a for sure fact. This truck has a long legacy here. And I'm not going to start saying that I'm going to win, but I'm really going to shoot for this truck to finally get a championship in this tour.
Dude, and when you revealed this beautiful paint to the crowd, they absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we've been working on this paint for about a few weeks now, but we finally got it done, and what I say is probably one of the best looking trucks in this field, I think.
Absolutely, the white with the flames being outlined with red and that fireman's flag. I'm super excited to see what you can do, man. I mean, do you have any plans? You're in high jump.
For high jump, I say just because we're trying to get the highest as we can here. I'm just going to try to full throttle this man and send him up to sky high to the moon.
All right, Hellings, I know you were super stoked to find out that Amari's now in the main field. Hellings, I know you're a huge fan of the way Amari drives this beast, man. How pumped are you to see him here?
Amari, buddy, I am thrilled that you have the chance here to compete in the main field for CC World Finals 4. I think you're going to do well tonight. I want to ask you this, though. Blake Thompson is pretty much unbeatable in racing here in CC, except for two occasions. You were one of the people that beat Blake in racing once. So a lot of the drivers here in CC, they are looking towards you to do the unthinkable. How do you like your chances going up against Blake Thompson tonight? And not just racing, but also freestyle.
If Blake is it's a tough competitor. He's one of the best drivers in this tour, or even maybe the best driver in the tour. So he's gonna be a worthy opponent for me, and for me to beat him again, possibly, or me again, my butt kick. I think this would be either a fight to remember, you can say. But I'm really hoping though I can come on top here.
I hope so too, Marty. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, it's Avenger 2 chassis here, World Finals once more. This truck has been put through its paces. Amari is nothing short of putting this truck through what he can. Amari, best of luck. We're going to next guy, and it's going to be Mr. Max Halpert, so Hellings, you can let him know that he's going to be, like, he needs to get in here and get his truck prepped and ready. All right, our next guy is Mr. Max Halpert in the Black Pearl. Max, you finished second place in points this season. It was second, right? I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of made the battle out of nowhere. You didn't get a whole lot of competition wins, but you got a lot of overall wins towards the end of the season, man. You made that push. You're here at World Finals. Qualifying didn't necessarily go the greatest for you. Let me take a peek at where you stood at the end of it. Yeah, Black Pearl, you were 11th fastest out of the 16 drivers.
How did that happen?
I have no idea.
Jeez.
You're usually known as... I mean, you also, I don't think, had as much practice as a lot of other drivers had.
No, I don't believe I did. But, you know, I don't think the seeding is going to matter too much going into it. We're fine-tuning things, getting a little bit more confident going into the racing bracket. Both of these lanes have been treating us nicely now that we're, you know, acclimating a lot better to the conditions. And I feel like if we can get out of that round one race, hopefully take down, you know, one win, we can keep them coming for the rest of the bracket.
I can look at the bracket and where you're seated. You will be facing Colt Durham and JCB. So you have a shot. That's not a shot at Colt. I'm just saying Colt isn't as used to JCB. He got put in that last second.
Yeah.
So
Colt is a very solid driver, though. No slouch going up against him, but I believe I have a winning record against JCB this season, so I'm looking to keep it that way.
That is very true. And Hellings, fun little fact, while you're speaking Max, I will let you know this, though, about Colt. He came out of nowhere at World Finals, I believe, made it all the way to the quarterfinals in El Diablo out of nowhere. So, when it comes to him at even Vegas or any World Finals, we're here in St. Louis tonight, his record looks pretty good when it comes down to it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, you know, again, he's no slouch at all. I'm not gonna take the race lightly. We're gonna run hard. We're gonna try to run as smooth and consistent as possible, and hopefully we can make a deep run, maybe surprise a few people. But we'll see what happens. I'm definitely coming in with a bit of a chip on my shoulder. I wasn't able to get any actual competition wins during the season, which I was a little disappointed with. We were able to stay as consistent as possible, keep second place in points, grab, I believe, 2 or 3 overalls on the way, which, you know, it's good for team morale. It's good for momentum heading into this World Finals here in St. Louis and this big old floor, great-looking track. And, you know, we got some cool plans for skills. I believe that, you know, there's a few obstacles I've been eyeing, you know, a couple of combinations that I might be trying out. But the real big one has been freestyle. I've come really close in freestyle multiple times this season. I've laid down some of my best runs I feel like I've ever put down in this tour. And I'm going to hopefully try to, you know, cherry on top, culminate all that with a freestyle championship here tonight.
All right, Max. I'm going to ask you, I'm only asking a few drivers this, I probably should let Hellings know. Who are your predictions, if it's not you to win it, who do you think is going to take home these competitions tonight? Like, we'll start with the last chance qualifier. Out of the 6 drivers that are in it, I'll let you know who they are real quick.
I know who they are.
Oh, you do?
Last chance qualifier, I mean, it's really hard to bet against Trent Ray. He is an amazing driver. He's looked really good through his practice and qualifying laps. I mean, Cookie being a newcomer coming in and going P3, I believe, is what it looks like. P3 or P4?
He is 3.
Third.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, you know, haven't really seen him run, but we're going to get a good look at him here in St. Louis. My money, though, I got to say, he's someone who's made a late season push, actually got a racing win. And, you know, the other guy that I was going to say got an overall event win, and they did that in the same event of the season, the finale in Glendale. My bets are either on Amari to walk away with it or for Zach Steele.
Amari's in Mainfield now since no.
Well, never mind.
So Zach Steele.
I was not informed of that. PR team not doing their job quite well enough here in St. Louis. Zach Steele is going to be my prediction then, if that's the case. He's been running on rails ever since he got into that tailgater truck, and it's pretty hard to bet against him when he's on his game.
Absolutely. I mean, he drove Max D in International, did not have the best event there, and then, unfortunately, he wasn't able to make the rest due to passport issues and the whole shebang. All right, Max, next one, high jump. That's the first main field competition we're going into. Who's winning high jump?
I mean, you take a look at this high jump field, and you think, these are the guys that have undoubtedly gotten the biggest air of the season or are capable of just absolutely skying that truck out. If I were to give it to anybody, I'd say my money's on Marcelo or Blake because they got really good trucks. Blake definitely has the setup, but Marcelo, he always finds a way to get that little extra power in there to just do something crazy.
Have you seen Marcelo's scheme too? Wow.
It looks beautiful. It is a great looking truck. We got a lot of great schemes. They're going to be debuting here at this World Finals, and it's going to be really fun to watch these drivers tear them all to pieces.
Absolutely. Next one, man, skills. That's going to be a tough competition with the field of drivers we have.
Skills is going to be very tough. Considering I'm in that mix, I'm not going to go out there and I'm going to say like, oh yeah, I plan on taking the win. If I'm able to execute my move, I'd like to say my chances are pretty good. But again, it's hard to bet against guys like Blake, but I think someone else that's going to really give him a run is Danny. Because Danny has been great in skills this season. He's walked away with a couple wins, and I feel like he might surprise us a little bit, like he tends to do.
He's also won the skills championship in every season that we've done it.
Yeah,
So
he's
he's definitely the guy to be. Yeah.
Looking to try and keep it that way.
But I also got to say this. Season 1, we didn't have a whole lot of drivers, and skills was still very new for the WB Node Beam. Season 2, World Finals 2, it was independent, not a whole lot to do. I think this season, this is going to be Danny's biggest challenge yet in terms of the amount of drivers we have in skills. I mean, you look at the lineup, it's Danny, Blake, Max, Adam Boyne, Garrett Hansen, Jackson Morris, Chadwick, and myself. I mean, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough competition when it comes down to it.
In the next competition, I would love to ask Max, might be one of the most anticipated racing. Because I feel like, yes, Blake had the best record in terms, but this track is so different compared to what we've had before.
Yeah, I agree. And considering that, Blake wasn't the fastest guy out there, I mean, might be a little bit of cause for concern there, considering that we were able to see Chadwick go 13.5, set the pace right out of the gate when he got into his qualifying. Blake's right behind him with a 13.51. But then Marcelo,
the man who
in that beautiful Blue Thunder, man on a mission, 13.42. Only driver breaking the 13.4s, mind you. And he kind of has a good track record dating back to last season when it comes to these kinds of tracks, these kinds of World Finals setups. When he made it all the way to the championship round and took Blake out doing so. They're going to be on opposite sides of the bracket this time, granted. But you got to think that there's a little bit of tension there between those two specifically. And I feel like those two are going to be the ones that really make a hard push towards the finals. You can't count out guys like Chadwick, though. You definitely can't count out guys like Hellings, who surprised quite a few people, I think, going into the 13.9s as well. I think that it's just going to be a great night of racing. We're going to see a lot of surprises. We're going to see a lot of close racing, a lot of interesting, entertaining racing. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if I were to put my money on someone, honestly, I'm going to put it on the defending champ. I think Chadwick's going to go back-to-back.
Wow. And after that, man, nowhere in Ring of Survivor's history has someone gone back-to-back-to-back. They haven't been able to do the trifecta. The closest man was Devin in
I
FRA.
remember FRA, yeah.
I'm like, oh, here we go again, man. I think Chadwick's very capable of doing it. He's got to keep his head on and not get knocked out by Blake. That's going to be his biggest challenge. Because I know Blake's on it, dude. With the way that truck's able to take these turns, Blake is going to be guaranteed. But if your money's on Chadwick, I got to ask the final question. Freestyle. Who's got it?
Oh, man. I think as far as freestyle has gone this season, we've seen a lot of familiar faces walk away with the trophies there. But we've seen a lot of drivers have real breakout seasons as far as freestyle is concerned. Namely, I think that one of my top picks for freestyle is probably going to be Jackson Morris in Maximum Destruction. I mean, you take a look at what he did on the Arena Series and how well he competed there. I know you got Chadwick, you got Blake, two of arguably the best freestylers that we've ever seen in the sport in these competitions. I mean, and then you got your defending champ yourself, Tim, trying to go out there and end things out on a high note in terms of competitive status out here, and just I think freestyle could be anyone's game. I couldn't really give you a definitive pick, but if I were to pick anybody, it's going to be someone out of the last half. I feel like any of those 8 guys have the best possible chances of walking away with the freestyle trophy tonight.
Absolutely, I completely agree. And well, Max, best of luck. Gear up. We start in 35 minutes. We're starting off with last chance. It's gonna be crazy. Best of luck, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this Black Pearl Monster truck is not going to be leaving St. Louis in one piece. I can guarantee you that.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, because after this, we just got quarter 2, and I don't know if you're gonna run with it or switch, but we'll see. You've done well.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Thank you, Max. Best of luck. Helling's our next guy we're talking to. We walked all the way back over here after just talking to you. It's technically your teammate tonight, Mr. Deli, in this wicked Gravedigger. While we're talking to him, I'm going to do a quick panorama. Look at these ring lights, and the other side, it's green. And not Helling's. Oh no, this is where we mess up because they're both. I'm sorry, Deli. No. Is this? I'm pretty sure this is a chrome purple and green, right?
Pretty much. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the creative design that went into this thing was kind of courteous of Jaden in Son of a Digger. He was the one who designed this piece. He really wanted to put together a Gravedigger scheme, a custom Gravedigger scheme at some point, but never had the chance to do it. So I approached him. I was like, hey, I know you're good at painting things. You're a great track maker. You usually make your own track paints and your truck paints. Can you cook up something for World Finals? And he came up with this. It looks great. A lot of the little finer details that I wish we could have incorporated on this, I wish we could have, but we just couldn't. It would have made the design a little bit too cluttered. But this thing came out freaking incredible. And easily, my favorite part about this thing is the ring lights. Because you usually never see a Gravedigger truck with halogens. You never see them with, LED halos in the front. So I think that's something that really makes this truck stand out because you're so used to seeing the school bus lights. You don't see those modern LED rings. So I definitely think this thing stands out like a sore thumb. But it's one damn good-looking sore thumb if I've ever seen one before.
Well, and there's been a lot of chit-chatter. Apparently, there's more surprises to come with this truck.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a couple of bodies here. I don't have them all on display here, obviously. It's kind of a secret. I have 3 bodies that I plan on running, but I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to run them in competition. every time I hit the track, it's going to be a different one, but no one's going to know which body it is until they see it on the track. So I like to keep the fans guessing, especially I like to keep the competitors guessing, because I'm kind of, over the past couple of years, I think I've given myself this kind of phantom title of being the guy that you don't really expect to do much. Sometimes I go out there and put on the run of my life, and sometimes I go and break 2 hits in. So this kind of is the embodiment of that. I feel like that using this is sort of like a Monopoly scheme is a really cool idea to keep people guessing, because you never know what I'm going to do. I never know what I'm going to do. And now you never know what this truck's going to look like the next time I hit the track. So it's great. It's a really great time.
Well, and Dolly, you weren't able to make last World Finals. You were Save of the Year and winner. And right before I came out, I said, I'm going to be running in the spirit of Delhi. And I somehow managed to get a one-wheel pull like you. Now that you're here, what are your plans, dude? You didn't get to come out last season for World Finals due to schedule. You were able to make it this time.
Absolutely. You know, I've been invited so far to compete in 3 World Finals up to this point. The first one I was in Zombie. I took a racing win. I got nominated for the main field in high jump. I couldn't make it, though, for outside reasons. You know, last season I was invited in Blue Thunder. I couldn't make it out for personal reasons. I'm not going to get into those right now. I don't really have a plan going into World Finals. I'm going to be completely honest with you. My whole shtick that I've had for the past couple of seasons or for the past couple of years of competing in Rigs of Rod's Monster Jam events is to not have a plan. It's sure, like, I'll want to hit specific things a certain way. Sure, I'll want to fill the clock. But I go in head empty, locked in, and that's really it, you know, because a lot of the mystique when it comes to my freestyle runs is I never know what I'm going to do. You know, I could go out and get the biggest air of the night, or if you did like what I did these past couple of events, somehow get into the top 3 without doing a backflip. Like, I don't know how that happens, but it's a gamble. It's a gamble. It really is. And you know what they say about gamblers? 99% of gamblers quit before they make it big. So I want to be sure to be that 1%. Because I've been gambling this entire season and I think I've come up winless this season. I'm almost certain. Someone will have to correct me on that eventually. I haven't been keeping track of my own stats, but I'm not really looking for any championships tonight. If I do come out with one, it's going to be awesome. But I just want to run hard, run my race, run my high jump, run my freestyle, and if I just so happen to make it into the top 3, you know, God bless. But that's not really what I'm looking to do. I'm just looking to put on a show. It's kind of rough because this is going to be my last CC season. Some stuff's been happening. This is kind of a bombshell to drop all of a sudden, so I want to make sure that my last World Finals, my first and my last World Finals, is going to be the best one I can put on, because one thing is for certain, Gravedigger is not going down without a fight. Jaden may not be here, but myself, Hellings, and Garrett Hansen are all here to throw down. And let me tell you one thing. There's 3 chances for Gravedigger to come out with a win. There is a Gravedigger in every competition, and if it's going to be none of us, it's going to be one of us, or maybe all 3. Well, you never know.
You know, Deli, and another thing I got to talk about is you didn't get any wins, but you got the chassis that did get a win this season when you were filled in for by Boss. You were in number 39. You ditched 35. Let's talk about that. 39. How'd you get this piece? What led to the decision?
It was rough. It was a very rough decision, as we know. You know, Gravedigger 35 was retired in real life just these past couple of weekends. 35 was a great truck. It was very fast, but for my racing style and for my driving style and a lot of the courses that we had to navigate this season, 35 wasn't it. The post-season last season, that was, I think, the best time to run 35. A lot of the tracks that we had was kind of fitting of the style, but I'm sure you can look back at the footage. Almost every time that I ran 35, something in the front end would break, or it would nosedive too hard, or maybe it swung out too far, or when I'm turning it pushed out too far. That truck is an absolute beast, but for the tracks that we were running this season, it was not the move. It's an awesome piece. I really hope I get to run it at some point again before the season's over. I don't know. It all depends on what the schedule is going to look like, but I'm hoping I get a chance to run it again. But 39 is a dominant piece. We've seen Tyler Menninga put this thing through hell over and over and over and over and over, and somehow make it to every single show it's ever been to. And this truck even got him his most recent freestyle victory. His world freestyle victory. So if there is any way to change chassis, it's going to be for this World Finals. Because let me tell you, this track is not forgiving. Just those qualifying passes that we saw, and you can't really see them on camera, but some of those qualifying passes we saw, some of the drivers got a DNF. You know, so it's this thing is not forgiving. And there was a lot of open practice that we had on this track over the past couple of weeks. And there was exactly, there were a lot of wreckages. Like, this track is not forgiving in the slightest, and I can't even imagine what freestyle is going to look like, right? And it's bad enough that racing there was a lot of wreckage. Who knows what's going to happen in freestyle? And if I drove 35 at this show, I'm sure that 3 hits in or 2 hits in, I would have been done. This truck doesn't do that. And so I'm hoping, this thing is a tank, so I'm hoping it can kind of take the abuse I'm going to throw at it, because I don't plan on backing down anytime soon. If there's any event that you've seen me go ham before, this tonight, it's going to change. There's going to be a little bit of a shift. I'm going through my revenge arc right now. This is the beginning of the peak. And I'm telling you that now.
Ooh, strong words there, Hellings. I mean, holy cow, Hellings. I can only... No. I'm like saying you, like, man, me and you're sitting here and he is got the most serious face I've ever seen. Wow. He is on a mission.
He's on a mission. He's driving Gravedigger.
Yeah, he's driving. Yeah, I should have put on a mission on the hood, man.
For sure.
What's so funny, Deli, is talking about 35. When building this track, we tried using that truck to test how some of these jumps would work, and that truck did not take those jumps lightly. We kept having to switch, third member after third member after third member. And I remember, because originally you were like, yeah, I'll use 35. In the very beginning when we started designing this track, the moment you saw us trying to test it and everything, you went, I can't use this truck. Because originally, you were going to drive 36.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I can't remember what happened with 36. I think there was some chassis problems that they had to redesign, and the truck started nosediving just a little too much, so you ended up taking 39. But I think it's most appropriate you take the chassis that Boss filled in for you to get you points.
Absolutely. Bree, she's amazing. She really is one of the best drivers that I think I've ever known. And even now, like, she continues to push the limit every time she goes onto the track. And she drove Gravedigger before I did. You know, she has more experience in this truck than I did. I only started driving this truck when World Final season came around. I don't really have much experience with it. But with the experience that I've had, like, for a moment, even for a little while, I was the fastest qualifier in main field. You know, and, like, this thing has a lot of history to it, and this thing is a freaking tank. And if there's anyone who knows how to drive it, it's Bree. But unfortunately, Bree couldn't be here, and I kind of took over the Gravedigger helm, if you will. And if there's any place that I could put this thing to rest, if I have to, it's going to be at the World Finals in her name. But it can't be just her that I have to pay tribute to. It's Jaden, because he couldn't make it out tonight. Son of a Digger isn't going to compete. But just because he can't be here doesn't mean his trailer mate can't throw down. So if he couldn't be here, I have to drive for 2 men in 1 truck. And let me tell you, it's not going to be easy. We got a lot of great competitors out there. Blake Thompson, Max D, he ran one of the fastest times tonight. Chadwick Deerfoot, that man is insane. I don't know how fast he can get in a PEI, but he somehow managed to do it. This track is unforgiving. These drivers are unforgiving. And I'm kind of in unknown territory right now because I've never really competed in something outside of a stadium series. But let me tell you, I'm going into this thing with a full head of steam. And even if I don't come out with a win, I'm going to be happy knowing I did what I could do. And even if Jaden couldn't be here, this truck, this paint job is going to be a testament to how much he cares, because he puts a lot of love and craft into his work. And if you guys at home, if you are watching and you're a fan of Sim Monsters and Rigs of Roz and all that stuff, you've probably played on his tracks before. He's even made some BeamNG content. So this is kind of paying tribute to Jaden, paying tribute to Bree, and of course Hellings and Hansen are here. Team Gravedigger is going to throw down, and we're not leaving until every single person in these stands and every single person watching at home is on their feet cheering Gravedigger.
Wow. Man. Well, Hellings, I'm going to let you gear up. We got 20 minutes till we kick off the show. Best of luck. Enjoy the catering. We went all out. We actually have money for this, so yippee-ki-yay. We'll see
I need
you.
chicken tenders.
We have them. Don't worry.
Yes!
They're there. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you on the track, man. Best of luck. Man, Hellings, he is on a mission to win. Ironic that he's in Gravedigger saying that.
He's locked in. He's going to be tough tonight.
He is
He's
so
going to be
locked in.
tonight.
I
20
think
minutes.
Yeah, we're at 20 minutes. We're gonna interview, I think, 2 or 3 more drivers at most.
EXE and Garrett. Garrett, yes, me.
And Garrett. We'll pull in Adam next. But before that, I think one thing we should point out that I didn't point out to Deli is we started the season here in St. Louis. He is no longer in okay, the truck that he started out in was overboard. Dude, trying to adapt to a completely different chassis with the St. Louis dirt, yikes.
Yeah, St. Louis is, yeah.
All right, we'll be here in just a second. We're gonna actually pull in Steele next because it's gonna take him.
Okay.
He'll be quick, so we'll meet you here in just a second. Our next guy we're interviewing, it's one of the more popular paints that have been revealed during Pit Party. Mr. Steele, he's walking around, he's pacing, he's nervous. He's just nervous. Nah, he's kayfabe, stick drift.
There we go.
Anyways,
Stick drift.
Steele, this blue tailgater, man. I didn't think you'd be coming back to because you're super excited about driving Maxion International. You ended up coming back to tailgater. Let's talk about that, man. Why tailgater?
Yeah, it's Maxi. It's the name and all that. But I've loved my tailgater ever since second quarter of last season, with Danny putting me in for him with this truck. It's just I have grown to honestly love it because I was one of the original people that built it, so I know this truck inside and out. But yeah, I decided to go with the traditional. Let's change the colors up, play with some different things. Truck matches the track with the blue and the red. Well, let's be honest here. The real reason why I'm still in tailgater is because it's a Florida thing.
It's a Florida thing, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You're in last chance qualifier, man. Yeah, you qualified at the last second. You got second fastest. What are your plans, man? Like, do you think you have a shot? Because Trent was the only guy to break 13 out of the last chance qualifiers.
Yeah, I got a 14.0, but I did have a little misshift with the transmission, so got that all buttoned up. We should be good for the show. I feel like I can get into those 13s. It's just all about keeping cool and just not overrunning your own race, not missing the roller, getting both tires up that finish line jump. It's just what it's going to come down to. It's going to be the same thing that it's been all season. It's just consistency.
Absolutely, man. Well, best of luck, man. You guys got to start. You last chance qualifiers, you got to start getting in your trucks and getting ready because we're starting last chance in 15 minutes. So best of luck to you, man. And hope everything goes well for you, dude.
Hey, you!
All right.
So you, EXE, and Garrett, and that's it.
Yeah.
We'll save you for
last. Pull in EXE real quick.
Okay.
Our next guy we're going to interview is Mr. Adam EXE. He has been in every event, it feels like. He's also filled in for almost every arena. Adam, you're here and you're overboard, man. This paint is wild.
Yeah, man. I had a very good help team to put this beautiful body to work. It's probably going to get destroyed within the show since I'm one of the most destructive indie truck drivers in Controlled Carnage here.
Oh, we know. That's why you got moved out of El Toro after a certain event. We won't talk about it.
Yeah, but that's all in the past. But, yeah,
not in my bank account. Anyways, man,
now
Adam, this track is wild.
Yeah.
It's big. We started the season here. We're ending it here. What are your thoughts on this wild track, man?
A bigger opportunity to do crazy things, in all compared to all the stadiums that we've all went through here. This one's gonna be the one that counts for everything. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever destroys the truck, well, tough luck. And the best person wins with this.
All right, Adam. Any final words?
Nope.
AXE, I want to bring up one more thing. If my notes are correct, you finished 14th in qualifying. 3rd was you know who. So it looks like I might be wrong, but it seems like your round 1 opponent will be the man.
It's Blake.
The man. So disregarding that, okay. So like let's not get emotional on that. What do you think? How do you like your chances here tonight in racing and freestyle? And will you be able to put this truck to the test to do whatever it takes to win?
Man, if I'm going against the man who I think I'm going against, I'm gonna push this overboard truck right here to 100% to attempt or possibly just beat that man right there, who we all know who it probably is gonna be. If I destroy the truck, I'll be looking like Bryce Kenny over here.
Well, Hellings, you heard it here first from him. He's gonna try his best.
All right.
Best of luck, Adam. We're gearing up.
All right.
Alright, our second to last guy is Mr. Garrett Hansen, the guy who made a lot of the paints for some drivers. But Garrett, man, he went all out. Look at this paint. Garrett, what on earth? How did you even come up with this idea?
Well, that's a great question. I was talking to Deli like some months ago about what to do with the data design, and I told him I'm like, hey, what are you gonna do for a design? Because I don't want to like repeat of what you're gonna do. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take the 30th data that Dennis ran the 3D with the 3D stuff and just make it black and white.
Dude, it is a beautiful piece. This black and white. The fans loved it when you revealed it, man. All three of you. I mean, even the regular black and green is always an excitement, but you and Deli, man, you guys really went all out. And I like that Hellings went for the classic, so the fans, maybe first timers at this event, still know what the OG truck looks like, man. I mean, you got the zoomies on. It looks beautiful. All right, well, man, a few words. Garrett, what are your thoughts on this track, man? It's gonna be nuts. Did my internet die?
Nope.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Garrett, a man, a few words. Well, Garrett, if you can't hear us, best of luck, buddy. We hope you do well, and we'll get on to our last guy, Hellings.
Yeah,
One, go ahead.
Okay, where am I looking? Is it this
You'll
way?
see.
No.
We're getting a live truck reveal.
Boy. Oh boy. Oh my
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, you were. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. Terminal was not the way. All right, folks, just give some insight real quick. There was so many trucks. I was trying to figure out what to drive. Terminal was almost the one. It was almost the one, but Hellings, the real reason is because I noticed that every time I would hit just a normal backflip, even any backflip, the rear drive shaft immediately would go weak. I think it's because that truck's a little old. So
Yeah.
Brandon and Trent ended up calling me when they heard I was struggling. They said, "Dude, do Brandon proud and run this truck," since it was supposed to be ran regardless. So I mean, it's tuned to the track. We ran some practice, and I mean, Helling, shoot, the times we got, we placed 5th fastest out of the 16 drivers. Couldn't be any more excited.
Yeah, okay, I'll try to move past that. So, Tim, you weren't expecting to compete this season. Last season, you finished off your CC career, at least we thought we did. Your main season, like your main CC career, you finished it off at the World Finals last season. You won the Freestyle Championship, and because you won that championship, you got locked in regardless for this event.
Yeah,
so
I forgot about that.
you've driven. I mean, you've driven in a couple of events filling in the Stadium Series.
Filling in for Brandon, ironically. And now I'm pretty much doing it again. Truck. I'm not filling in for him. I'm driving for me, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But but like this, like I know you wanted it badly last year. You want it even more this year because now it's the World Finals. But you are in your hometown, basically. You're in St. Louis. You probably got tons of your family and friends here, and they all want to see you. They want to see you go 3 and 4 seasons. They want to see you win freestyle 3 times and 4 seasons, 2 times consecutively. What are your thoughts going into this event as a driver?
I'm super stoked. I gotta show these newcomers. I still got it in me. I feel like I'm got more pressure on me though because my newly fiance's here supporting me, and I'm ready. We're ready to rock and roll. We're in the Shark. The fans were super stoked to see the neon truck back because last time we saw it, Marcelo Mendoza of all drivers tore this truck up in San Antonio, if you remember that. But we're here. We're in 3 competitions. We made skills because I guess we were good enough for skills. when I filled in, I was always getting top 3. So we're gonna try our best to. Last time I was in a skills competition, man, I was in Bad Company. It didn't do me well, but Bad Company was almost another truck too. We were very close to actually picking Bad Company, but Megalon ended up being the choice. When we were testing it, I got to use the CRD chassis. I didn't know what body or the identity, but we used the CRD chassis, and let me tell you, Hellings, there's that one jump that I told you about. It takes it the best out of any of the trucks, even better than Terminal when we were testing ramps.
Oh boy,
This truck is a beast. I'm gonna run it into the ground. Dude. And fun fact, CC is having me come out of retirement for season 5 in quarter 2. We're coming out of retirement. I guess I'm Joe Sylvester, but I'm not an asshole like him. So we're gonna try our best. We're gonna try our best. I don't care. They can get over it. Yeah. I might as well go over predictions because I'm racing Danny of all drivers. But no. Last chance. I could see Trenton taking it, honestly. If he keeps his head on a swivel, he's got it. Racing, man. I don't know. I could see Marcelo doing it, but I could also see Blake somehow pulling it out. I want to see Chadwick go back to back because that's just awesome. In 2 flashback trucks. High jump, it's anybody's game. Skills, skills. Personally, I think I got it. I can do it. But if not anyone, if not me, I'm gonna throw a dart at the board here. And honestly, if you think about who it is coming into it, I really think Max could do it. He's out for vengeance, but freestyle. Hey man, no one counted me out. Everybody counted me out, and guess who came out on top? Me. So we're gonna. If it's not me, I'm telling you right now, I know who it's gonna be. It's gonna be Deli. That dude scared the living daylights out of me when we interviewed him. That's all I gotta say, man. The show starts in a minute, so we gotta get going. We gotta make an announcement to get everyone in the call too. Shoot. So, folks, we might be starting a little bit later, but yeah, we gotta get going.
All right.
All right, folks. We'll see you there. This is the end of the first stream.